What's up everybody, this is Hillbillies here, and welcome back to episode 55 of my Minecraft Let's Play series. Today, I wanted to show you the design that I've come up with for the tunnel that goes to the Guardian farm. I wanted to show you this just because this is what I had come up with so far, and I wanted to point out that I had a little bit of an issue at the other end just because of the width, and I wanted to let you know that it's just gonna the look of it is just gonna be a little different at the other end, but I'll point that out after. So this is what I come up with. If you guys want, comment, let me know what you think. The basic thing is just, two lights in the ceiling. I wanted to have the leaves, like I said, I wanted to keep things natural, so I put leaves on the side as well with the nice redstone lamps. I think those are nicer than the actual the glowstone, which I'm working on changing most of these, or most of the old glowstone out to the lanterns like this, the sea lanterns I guess, or prismarine lights I guess, depending on where it is, because some areas look better with these, some areas don't. So one area for example that I really liked, that this the change basically for this was over here. I think that this area looks a lot nicer with these blocks instead of the glowstone, and as well here I'm pretty happy with the light. It looks more natural, looks more like a real light. This just has too much weird stuff in it. It's good for this area because the color matches more than the floor, so those wouldn't fit very well there, but so I'm kind of changing certain things around, but that'll also be what I'm doing today. This is one of the things, I just wanted to show you before I finish the whole tunnel. I wanted to show you what I'd finally come up with after a couple hours of contemplating. This is the basic idea. It's pretty natural, and I wanted to keep the floor bright, so I used the birch on the floor. This is dark oak, then spruce wood, and then this is also just spruce wood half slabs, and I'm making sure that behind everything is all stone so that it looks cleaner because you can see through all the leaves, so it's nicer just to have a stone underneath there. I think it looks better. But to what I wanted to show you is kind of that when you go, everything is fine. This whole tunnel is all the same size because I built it a long time ago, dug out the dimensions of it and got everything pretty much ready. But the thing is, at the other end, because of the way I ended up doing the farm, it's not the same width over here. So as you can see, I was gonna put the tunnel like that, but then I was well, the problem is the wall is back here, or the dark oak posts are back here, and then the other one was here. So what I'm gonna do, since it's only a very short section, I'm going to widen out just as soon as you come around this corner. This part here will be 1 block wider than the rest of the tunnel, but I'm hopefully going to merge it in so that you don't notice it too much other than the floor. Obviously the track, is going to be either left or right. It's not going to be right in the center, which, it's all right, but as long as the tunnel itself kind of matches up with this one here, so then the dark oak pillar will be there and there instead of being off-centered and whatnot. So the track will be off-centered, but that won't bother me as much as, having a whole piece of the tunnel sticking out. It wouldn't look right, I think, so. And the idea is that hopefully when I widen it, maybe the whole thing will just be birch, but I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna have to worry about that when I get to here. Obviously you can see I was putting levers down for more lamps and everything, but this is one of those things that's gonna take me a couple hours. I have to go and gather, I have most of the materials, but it's just the placing everything, mining out the walls and putting the levers in, the redstone lamps and all the leaves and all that stuff. So there's quite a bit to do here, so I'm gonna get to it, and then I'm gonna find some other things hopefully to finish up, maybe little projects, or maybe depending how much time there is, I would like to go and start a blaze farm. That would be another nice project. It's a pretty big project, keep me busy for a little while, and I could always, switch back and forth between it and some other projects. So I'm gonna go get started with, finishing up this tunnel, or at least, continuing it, and hopefully I can finish it pretty quickly. So I'll be back when that's all done. Alright everybody, it's been many hours now, and spent a whole bunch of time through the night, and I was up at 4 o'clock this morning also working on this, and it's actually 12:30 right now, so it's been a very long time, but it's pretty much done other than some of the lights. I obviously don't have enough redstone lamps to do this entire tunnel, so I've used torches for now in the spots that I don't have the lights, but it's pretty much finished. The shape is there and everything. I'm just, like I said, missing the lights. I found this is a pretty cool design. I enjoy it, at least for, this anywhere that it goes up. Everywhere else is exactly the same. This design here, you can see with the little overhang coming down, and everything is kind of more closed in, and it's got a nice shape to it, I find. And then the mixture of color, the floor is a lot brighter, and it matches, I think, a lot nicer. And I use the the dark oak down there, and these are just oak fences, and those are just the leaves behind it. I might I'll probably put lights behind it later on, and I think that'll make it a lot nicer, even having the nice bright lights behind it. But for now, I think this is, you know, pretty good design, and this is how I'm happy with it. And if I stand back here, you can see I kind of have the same pattern going of just like some dark oak, and then it goes down again until you get to the next layer of the slabs, and it goes down again, and so on like that. Continue, like I said, down this tunnel. But I actually changed something. Like, you know, this goes off towards the base, and once again it's the same thing down there. But I decided that, you know, a while ago I'd mentioned maybe I would add some sort of observation area. So I've built this tunnel here, or at least worked on the one that was previously here, and basically fixed this so that I could go down here and use it to observe them if I really wanted to. So right at the end of here is just a whole bunch of light blue stained glass, and there's some panes here. Obviously this will have to get changed, but you know, I just ran out of the time and I wanted to have it here so I could show you guys. But now you can come out here and you can just stand if you want and just kind of watch them swim around and go down. And it doesn't seem that this interrupts them, because when the water hits it, it just goes around the edges, you can see. So if they ever do touch the top of this, they go down and around. But I actually haven't seen them yet do that, because I've never really seen them spawn over here. Mostly they spawn around, you know, probably halfway down. That's where they spawn most of the time. So, but it's pretty cool now. You can stand up here and watch them swim around. Obviously, during the day is a lot easier. And if you didn't have the glass around it and you were standing here, it's easier to see through the water nice and clear. But it's cool. You can come out here and just like stand in AFK if you want and look at them or whatnot. So it's been a while, but the progress is, you know, I'm happy with it. I got to put, like I said, lights in the ceiling and lights in the walls still, where, you know, all these spaces are. But that'll be a project that as I go along and as I gather more of them, that's probably, you know, be filled up. That'll be my first thing to work on. And I think one way that will really help me is if I have a blaze farm, because, you know, if I get a blaze farm, they'll give me glowstone and everything, and I'll be able to work on, you know, just constantly taking the glowstone and bringing it back and everything. So that's what I think I want to work on now. I'm going to go into the nether, and I'm going to find the location that I have like a blaze spawner. I'm going to see if there's two close by, but if not, I'm just going to use the one, and I'm going to have to figure out, you know, I'll cover with lights. I'll build a protective like cage around it, and maybe a temporary tunnel so that I can get to it quickly without like being murdered by mobs constantly. So I'm probably going to just take some like nether bricks and stuff over there, and I'm going to go work on that, and I'll at least get the tunnel set up and hopefully get to the area, and then I can maybe work with you guys, figure out how to build this thing, really, because I don't know about, maybe just I'll have lava and then they'll swim through the lava somewhere and they'll drop off into a spawner, and maybe I can do the same sort of like semi-automatic, like, or the automatic crushing system, but I could also make it, you know, with potions and all sorts of stuff. So, because, you know, I can't really use lava for the blaze, that won't work, and you can't use water to kill them, I don't think. Maybe I could drown them, I don't know. It'll be an experiment, right? I've never built a blaze farm before, so this will be the time to test it and find out and see what I can do. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up some of the stuff that I've left behind, and I'm going to go and start working on the blaze farm. Alright everybody, so finally here in the nether now, ready to kind of, well, I've been working a little bit on the blaze farm. I haven't actually done too much, I just wanted to get like a platform laid out. I also wanted to show you guys my idea that this room here is going to basically be the main spot for everything. Like if I want to go to the ice spikes, you know, I gotta go, or what's your phone? If I gotta go to the ice spikes, I gotta go to the other one, and if I want to go to the clay biome, I gotta go to this one. So I'm basically going to have, like, this nether portal will be the center of the room, so I will mine out a certain number of these sections, which is why I made, you know, everything is symmetrical and the same, so that you can just, like, if I want to get rid of this part here, I'll just take out this and it won't change anything. So I'm going to get rid of some of this later at some point. I'm not worried too much about this, but basically I just want to let you know that this room, like I said, is going to be the center of everything. So that design that I have in there will probably be what the whole room will look like. And just like in the subway system in the overworld, I'll have a subway system for the nether. So I'm going to have, you know, one for the ice spike, one for the clay. I'll have one for a blaze spawner, one to maybe the area that I go and kill all the withers, or anything like that. Because I am hoping I'd like to start that really, really, really long project, which is I'm going to slowly walk to the top of the nether at some point. And I'm going to start mining. And I'm going to mine and mine and mine and mine until everything's gone until I can get rid of all the blocks. And apparently people have done it and it's possible, but it takes months and months and months and months. So it's not one of those things I'm going to spend, like a whole day on at a time doing. I'll go for a couple hours and mine away, and maybe eventually I'll be able to control all of the spawns in the nether, which would be amazing. Like, there's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of blocks of netherrack, but they're so easy to get rid of. Like, this is a regular pickaxe with nothing on it, and it mines away like nothing. So if you come in here with an efficiency 5 or something like that, it would just be insane. You'd be mining faster than you could actually, then pretty much you'd be mining faster than the game could keep up with. So that's one cool thing. But I wanted to show you guys, as you know, I always come up here to come into this fortress, which obviously, needs to be fixed up, and I need to make a better access way to it. But now I've kind of figured out and led myself a path to where the blaze spawner is, and it's actually pretty close. Other than having to walk up the stairs, it's kind of inconvenient, but it's pretty much right here. There it is. So this is what I did. I just made a protective cage around myself to make sure that while I was working in here, I wasn't constantly under threat. And I don't know if a ghast hitting one of these will cause it to explode or disappear or whatnot, and I'm not going to take that chance. So I, protected it, and I've started building up this area around it as soon as I get rid of these guys, and try not to kill that guy, because he will be pissed off. God, I'm terrible with a bow today. Okay, but yeah, you can see I've increased the size of the platform. Obviously, it's only 1 thick right now, but I'm going to just increase the height and bring it up to that level. So that will give me like a large area to build in. Like, I could mine out the center and use this, like, let's say the blaze all spawn, because my idea is this is going to have to be floating, obviously, and where this guy's going to be standing, there's going to be no blocks here, and they're going to drop down into a room, and hopefully down farther into a section that I can kill them in. Now, I've been looking up online all the different ways that people have done it, and so far I like Ethos way the best, just for the reason that all it is basically just pistons that push them into the center to control where they go. Now, I'm going to change, designs and like the look and everything, of course, but I'm going to try and follow that basic premise, because that seems to be the simplest way to do it. Is as soon as they fall, they'll fall down, and obviously I can't build a blaze killer or a blaze kill chamber that's like this big, so I have to put it into a 1 block space. So they have to all end up in this same spot, but 10 or 12 blocks lower than they are now. So if I get rid of all of this and I put pistons all the way around, when they fall, they'll all get pushed into the center. And then I can control where everything spawns, and as you can see, I've got my looting sword, and it's like, I get 6 glowstone every time, so it's going to be nice having access to glowstone and blaze rods. I'll never have to worry about getting coal again. I'll just burn all the blaze rods that I have, since they last longer, and yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. So that's what I'm going to be working on now. I'm going to finish expanding this area, and I'm going to bring it up to the same height, probably by just mining away more of the nether everywhere. And, when I do that, it's actually also giving more areas for withers and stuff to spawn. Like, now I've, opened up this area for more, which is great. Like I said, eventually, too, I'll be able to control the spawn if I ever do get rid of all of the blocks. That would be a long time, but we'll see what I can get done. Like I said, I'm going to work on it as much as I can, maybe get the basics laid out for it. Maybe if I dig out that small section and get an idea of where they're going to fall, figure out the height and everything, because I need to be able to stand close enough that they spawn, but, far enough that I'm safe and from everything, and I need to make it easy so that I can just hop onto a minecart and, whoop, all the way up from that little, the center area and make it all the way up to here, and, so there's a little bit of planning involved with it. I have the coordinates written down for the other area, so I'm going to have to figure out where maybe design a tunnel that's a little nicer to get to here, but I'd like it to go right to the kill chamber. So it's great that I have this one for now, but eventually it's going to be like, 10 or 12 blocks lower, 20, like I say. I don't know how far I have to go down for this, but I haven't even seen how the blaze spawn yet. So my thing is I'm probably going to protect myself here. Oop. Yeah, I'm probably going to protect myself maybe back there. I'm going to close off this, dig this out, and I'll watch for a while and see where they spawn. Like, do they spawn up here, off the side, over here? And then I can figure out how big a space I need, how far they have to go, and everything to control them. So I'm going to keep, like I said, working on that. It's going to be a big project. I don't think I'll be done this today or done anytime soon, that's for sure, but at least it'll give me something to kind of go back to whenever I want. I can, work on it for a little while, and then I can go work on some paths or something else in the world. There's always lots of little things that need to be done, so having a lot of projects going at the same time, I think, could be a really good thing. So I'm going to keep working, guys, and I'll hopefully be back when I got some good progress done. So I just finished removing the torches, guys. I've kind of built, like I said, you know, a small area for them to spawn. Now the test is basically, I just want to know if when they're enclosed in this kind of area with only one block of space around, will they still spawn, or do they need a larger area? If so, I'm probably going to have to take out this area here and make it 2 blocks wide on each side. And then when they fall down, I'll have to go to, you know, I'll have to shrink it down 1, and then I'll have to drop down again, shrink it, make them come into a smaller area again. And I should only have to do that twice, I hope, before they, you know, before they end up falling into the kill chamber, because it's going to be interesting trying to build, like I said, you know, in the nether, all the way up at the height that I am, with not too many rows of anything behind me still. If I could just reach that last piece of fire. See, they're spinning and spinning and spinning as if they should be, but I don't think they are. So what if I take this block out, or these ones? I'm going to see if I give them another little bit of an area, will they spawn, because I know some spawners need like a 9x9, but I don't know if it's for all of them or what, because it's a pretty small area that they were spawning on before anyways. Now it doesn't seem to be the case. What about less light? Like, that is definitely enough light for them to be spawning right now. So I figure I was probably right in making the room as big as I did before. I'll just take out this section, and I'll bring it down to that height down there too. That's so far, that's the lowest I can actually go, is down there basically. So I have to be very careful that I don't go, you know, any lower than that, or I'm going to fall into the lava. I have brought lots of potions with me, and I have a lot extra, just, you know, as backup too, and I'm going to use whatever I mine out, like I said, to increase the size of this area, so that I can get more spawning, which would be really good. Obviously, though, I have to worry about this, though, first, because, like I said, I don't know if blaze can, or gas can blow up all of this. So I'm going to, you know, prevent that by covering everything, because if I lose a blaze spawner, that would suck. I know there's 1 or 2 others around, but I don't know the exact coordinates, and it's like one of them I found it in a weird spot one time, and I was like, this is here, and I was amazed. So it's like, I have to be careful which ones I get rid of and which ones get destroyed. So I'm just going to leave them all for now, protect them as much as possible, and I'm going to keep working like this. And obviously, like, they still haven't spawned yet, so I must have to make, it must have to be 9x9. Which kind of sucks. That's going to make things really difficult, because I'm going to have to go from, you know, 9x9, and I'm going to go in 1 block all the way around and keep doing that lower and lower and lower each time. I guess it shouldn't be too bad, though. It's not the most complicated system, setting up the pistons the way they are. Like the pressure plate, and then I think you put a redstone repeater or something facing backwards, and then it activates it, and you can just hook them all up together. So I'm going to try that, like I said, you know, slowly, as soon as I figure out what size of room I need to build first. And, you know, I apologize, I've never built a blaze spawner, or I've never built a blaze farm before, and so this is all going to be trial and error for me, and I want to kind of try and do it myself and see if I can figure out a way to do it, like, on my own. You know, obviously I'll use the ideas of what other people have done before to give myself a good starting point, or maybe make things more efficient or simpler. Like I said, you know, Etho has the good way of with the piston, so I'll probably use that, but, you know, I'm not going to copy his design 100%. I'd like to try this time and make a cool spawner, or make a cool farm, and say that I designed it myself. So I'm going to try that. No idea how well it's going to work, but I guess I don't know until you try, so I'm going to keep working away, guys, and hopefully get this shaped up a little bit more like a farm soon, or at least get them dropping. That's my first objective, is if I can get them to drop down into anywhere, just falling down would be great, because if they see me, they're going to get pissed off, and then it'll kind of cancel out everything. So I'm going to probably just increase the room to 9x9 and start from there. Alright guys, so I went and I got some more potions, and when I came back, there were a whole bunch of these guys actually just kind of crammed into that corner there and over there. So it shows me that they're spawning, like, this is now 9x9 if you're wondering, and they're spawning over in the corners. So obviously they probably spawn in everywhere, but they're preferable to over, like, farther away, I guess. The farther from the spawner they can get, the better. I don't know if they're spawning, if they spawned any on top. I don't think they go on top. I think they go at the same level if they're able to. So the thing that I have to do now, basically, if I don't die, I'm going to try and get in here and show you. I made a kind of a safe way to get in here. So obviously you can see they're all spawning up here and down on the sides and wherever they're going, right? But I want them down here, like I've been saying. So I figure if I can, because blaze are 2 blocks high. So if I can go like, that's 1 block, and then let's say that that's the 2nd block. So they'll be falling, and then I need them to get down. Obviously that's going to be a center block, so, and they're going to probably be all, around the edges and everything. So on the very far edge, like I said, this is already 9 by 9, so this wall here. Let me line myself up. So this is the 2nd block down, so they could fit here. So if I put at head level something about here, where they're going to land, you can see it's 1 block below. Now if I run a line like this all the way along, the basic idea is that I do this around the whole edge at this same height here, all the way around, and these guys are going to get annoying. I'm going to have to shut that off again soon. I'm also going to set something up so that I can turn it on and off whenever I want to, because that would be just way easier. So let me mine this out. That's the 9 by 9 here, so this should probably go. As you can see, I made the size and I'm cleaning it up as I go, and I'm giving myself different ways to get in and out of it, just in case I get attacked or whatnot. But this is the basic idea of it. As soon as they drop down, they'll spawn, far away over here. But when they land here, or anywhere along this edge, what's going to happen is a piston is going to extend, like, let's say, this area here, either the bottom or the top, one of the two, and they'll get pushed off of these blocks that I'm standing on, that they will be standing on even, and then they'll get pushed into the center, so they'll get pushed out a block to here. Which that means they'll be, the next time they fall, they'll have less of an area. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down 2 more blocks. So, there's 1, 2, and then this area here will be more pistons. Ooh, you can see I'm kind of running into the problem that underneath there's not a whole lot anymore, so I'm going to have to be very careful how I do this. But this is just to give you guys an idea. I'm pretty sure most of you already understand or have seen this before, obviously. But like I said, at that level there, now the pistons are going to be here, and they're going to get pushed off of this, and they're going to go like this down again, and now they will be pushed into this 3 by 3 area. And then when I drop them down 1 more level, there'll be pistons, for example, right here, and then they get pushed into the center for 1 final time, and then they will fall right down into a 1 block gap, and I can kill them with pistons, or I can kill them with potions, or however I choose to get rid of the blaze, basically. So this is the basic idea. I'm going to build this whole thing, get the layout set up, and then I'm going to watch Ethos' video, and I'm going to see how he set up his pistons, because there's a really easy way that you put like a pressure plate, and behind that block you put a repeater, and it powers the block above, and that's how it activates the piston. But I haven't done any sort of thing like that, or that type of redstone yet, so I want to look it up and see how he did it, and then maybe if I can recreate it, I can set it up, show you guys at least, and maybe make a few tests with it and see if it's actually working how I'd like it to. If not, obviously there's going to have to be some changes. I still have to research too, like how far away I can be from this spawner before they start spawning, because the problem is, like, my other spawners, I've filled up the caves. I have put light everywhere and all that, but the problem is now I'm in the nether, and I haven't done that. So I can be standing right beside the spawner, but there's still the pigmen, there's still the magma cubes that are running around. So the spawns are less, but I'm hoping that if I to stay here, they'll just constantly spawn in this one area. But I don't know. Like I said, these are things that I'm learning, testing as I go. So I'm going to keep working away at this. I'm going to get the basic shape set up. I'm going to work on trying to get pistons set up all along this area, and if I do, I'm going to come back and we can test it and see how it works. Alright guys, so I've made a little bit of progress. As you can see, this is, if you didn't get before what I meant, this is kind of the idea. Now you can see it drops down a couple layers, and then it goes in another block, and then it goes down a couple layers, and then it goes in a block, until it gets to the point where it turns into just 1 block in the center. Now, I was following along with Ethos' video on how to do the pistons and everything, and one quick note that when he made his tutorial, the spawning radius was 8 by 8. It is now 9 by 9, so all I did was basically increase the size, and I noticed that he blocked off all the corners and only put pistons, along here and didn't put any in the corners. So I blocked off all the corners for every level here, as you can see, and now I'm going to begin placing the pistons and hopefully do it right. Because I've never really done it. I might have to get rid of these ones, I realize, though, because maybe the corners are only good for certain areas. I'm not sure. But, it's a trial and error thing, like I said. So, this is going to be the first level of pistons. Now, I'm going to do this just to try and show you guys, hopefully, without failing miserably, how to get it set up. And then I'm going to, take a quick cut, and I will go and work on the rest of it as well. Now, the problem is, of course, I don't really have a base laid out here. Like I said, where I'm standing are going to be... Ooh, I got to watch out for these guys. Now that I have this whole side of it completely wide open, I'm going to have to be very, very careful. Especially with that guy over there. Okay, so at the same level there, I want to just build this up so that I can at least place some stuff here. Probably should have gotten that ready beforehand, but I didn't think about that. This is one of the problems too, is like I'm running out of, blocks. Like this tower that's here already is only so big, so I have to, use what I can. All right, so I'm gonna put blocks along here, and I'll show you in a second why. As soon as I protect myself again. There we go. Okay. I should be safe. Now, like I said, this is where they're... you freaking guys. I thought this was turned off. Probably not, but just because time to spam all the torches. See, this is one thing about this, like, sometimes it'd be nice if the mobs weren't around, but I'm not ever going to change it out of survival, so I'm not going to bother. Let's see. So I'll start with the basic. Where did I put my pressure plates? Okay. So like I said, pressure plates are all going to be here. Right? Yes. Okay. So now, the pressure plates have to activate a signal of redstone. So you put the repeaters here, and you can see, there you go, it powers, and it powers into that block. Therefore, if you put a piston, like so, facing inwards, it will push out. And of course, there's no block on the end, so I'm not getting pushed off. But if I put a block there, I would, or myself, or the blaze, would get knocked down inwards and then fall down to the next level. And I'm going to do that around the whole edge up top, so then they all get pushed into the center and drop. And then some of them, of course, will already be down there, and others will drop along this edge. And if they do, they'll get pushed off of that floor and end up on the floor below. And then they get pushed off that floor and end up in the final area, which is that one block gap down at the bottom. And of course, at the bottom of that one block gap, I'm going to have to, afterwards, design some sort of kill chamber, maybe something that crushes them for a certain amount of time, and then I can punch them, or I can use potions or something of the sort. So I'll figure it out, and of course, things can always be changed afterwards. But I basically figured that I would show you guys this, and I wanted to get this done and showing you guys what it looks like. And I might have to, of course, change the size, because I did this because if I put, for example, a piston there, I think that this block would actually power that piston, so if something lands up here, it would also push it off. So that's why I built it lower, so that they can't interfere with each other. But as you can see, just as simple as that, now it goes out there. And of course, like I said, guys, this is not my design. I don't want people to think this. This is from Etho. I'm just copying this bit. I don't want to copy, like I said, the whole thing. It might end up probably mostly his design. But I'm going to change, obviously the look of it, and, how they get crushed and whatnot. Probably be a little different than the way he would do it, but, I just wanted to make sure people know that I'm, this is not my idea, and I have no claim to make it seem that it's like mine, so that everybody knows. But, for now, I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to copy this same thing all the way to the bottom, and I'm going to add some blocks in front of the pistons, and I'll come back when that's ready, and maybe we can do a couple tests and see if it works. Alright guys, so I've kind of gotten pretty much the whole thing done, as you can see from here. There's all the pressure plates are laid out and the repeaters and everything. So I'm going to show you how it works one more time, or how well it works, or if it works, before I get rid of all of the torches and let more blaze in. This is basically the idea. Pretend that I am a blaze and I just spawned in. As you can see, every time I drop, I get knocked one more block in, and a block in, and a block in, and now I didn't touch anything on my controller, and I am now in a one block gap at the very bottom. So in theory, hopefully, the blaze should pretty much do the same. And of course I made myself a kind of safe path to get up and down from here. I have noticed, I don't know why, but I am seeing, like, as soon as I come out of here, I was actually making this wall on the left-hand side here, and there were blaze, like the balls, going through this wall. I don't know if they were coming through the angle, like you can see that guy kind of missed me, but it's weird, they seem to still detect me even though I'm behind this wall, and they were shooting at me before, and it was going through. It wasn't damaging my player or anything, but it was just really freaky to be kind of working and then all of a sudden think you're going to get knocked off all of a sudden. So give me a moment, and I'm going to go probably deactivate one of the pressure plates and go in there, and I got to turn off the lights. I also have to figure out later how I can make it an automatic thing, like I can turn it on and off. And a lot of people are, since, you know, you can't, it's a lot easier, you're in the nether, you have lots of lava, is to use lava. Basically just set up like dispensers on top with lava, and then you press a button and the lava turns on and it lights up the whole area, and then you turn it off by pressing a button and it sucks up all the lava again, and then it disappears and it becomes dark again. So I'm probably just going to follow along with that, and you know, lava would suit, I think, really well because it's in the nether anyways. So why not make it, you know, seem like that too? So I'll probably, that'll be another thing I have to, I have something else I have to work on. But as you can see, I keep getting knocked off. A trick though is you can walk right along the very edge of this section here, and you actually won't activate any of the pistons as long as you don't touch that edge. So you have to be very, very careful. Okay, so give me a moment, and I'm going to see if any blaze will spawn in, and I'll see if I can actually get them to hopefully fall and make this thing work. And if it does, then I'll probably end the episode there, and you know, I'm going to start preparing, and I'll add some lava and stuff, and then maybe next episode I can work with you guys on getting the actual kill chamber itself set up. I'll have the nice lava streams flowing down for you know, a system to turn lights on and off and everything like that, so that'll be pretty cool. But I'm going to take a little bit of time here, watch them spawn, because I don't want to be down here, otherwise they are going to start attacking me, so I got to get down safe, take all the torches out, and we'll see how it works. Okay guys, so I'm having a problem here. It's really slow at the moment. It does work. I did see a guy spawn earlier, and I found him at the bottom, so they will make it all the way to the bottom. The problem that I'm having now is, though, there's just too many other mobs. Everything around me needs to go. I need to get rid of all of this area. You see there's wither skeletons are spawning up there. There are blaze still spawning around. Like, look, I am beside my blaze spawner, and there's a blaze over there. Like, why is it that there are two of them? Why are there two blazes spawning over there when I'm standing right beside the spawner? Like, normally if I was here, they'd be going nuts. They'd be spawning like crazy, but for some reason they aren't spawning at all, and they're still spawning over here. Like, why are they spawning way over here? That's way far away from that area, so they should not be doing that. That's one issue I'm having. So I gotta spend a long time, not this episode of course. I'm going to be cleaning up. I'm going to be digging out a bunch of the area around, trying to make sure that there's no spawning pads except for that spawner. And once that's done, the only things that should be around, hopefully, will be the wither skeletons and all that. And, you know, I'll have to make sure, like I said, that nothing else can spawn but those guys. So then they'll always spawn only in here, and I won't have any issues, and it'll make it a lot faster. It's kind of like working on a mob spawner or a mob farm in the overworld. You got to get rid of all the dark caves before you can expect things to spawn quickly. So instead, I have to pretty much clean out this area and make sure that they don't have a spot to spawn, that there's no earth within. I'm not sure what the radius is. I'll have to look up online, of course, and see in what area the blaze will spawn to you. But of course, that should be working right now, and it did work once before, so I know that it will work, and, you know, it just takes, I guess, time, and I'm going to have to work on it. So I'll be ending the episode here, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've, you know, I hope this has helped you a little bit if you need to. Like I said, you know, I'm going to leave a description to Ethos' video, so you can go check it out, and he explains it a lot better, and a much easier way to build it all, so thank you guys again so much for watching. Comment down below again if you have any, you know, comments you want to say, if it's good or bad or whatnot, if there's things to change or fix, or you got tips or tricks or whatnot, anything you want at all. So thank you guys again so much for watching this episode, and I'll see you in the next one.